Hello everyone, this is my third video of chapter 1, and as you know that there are two different part of this chapter 1. So this one is the second part of your first chapter, and in this part we will learn here a history of Java. So about Java we will understand here that I've already told you in my first video what is Java. As you know that Java is a high level programming language. Here some basic information we will understand here. Either you can say some basic history we will understand here. So which point we will learn here? Let's look at here. So first of all we will understand a history of Java, that who is the developer of Java. Second point, uses of Java. Third point, features of Java. Fourth points about Java compiler and interpreter. It means a working of compiler and interpreter. The next point is bytecode, JVM, JDK, and a simple program we will understand here. A very simple program of Java, that how we will write a simple program in Java. So these all the points we will understand in the second part of your first chapter in history of Java topic. So one by one, just I am going to explain with the help of this following slide. So please try to understand with the help of this slide.
Now the first point is history of Java. Some basic history is written here. And who is invented Java? So as you know that the James Gosling, he is inventor of Java, and here a picture of James Gosling is showing here. And where it was invented? So in Sun Lab, also known as a Sun Microsystem. And when to around 1991 to 1992 it was invented, and it was published in 1995. And the first name of Java, when it was invented, the first name of Java is Oak, and when it was published, then the name is Java. So what is the first name at the time of invention? So what is the first name at the time of invention? So Oak is the first name of Java at the time of invention. So these are the some basic information, and that is the basic history of Java that you have to understand. And when who is the inventor, where it was invented, in which year it published and it invented, and what was the first name. These all things you have to understand here. Now to come to the next point, usage of Java. So with the help of this Java language, we can develop a different types of programming, just like a web application we can develop. Web application means a website, you can also say. Web server and application server, it means a server you will use to develop with the help of Java. Enterprise application means a business application you have to you can develop with the help of Java. Scientific application, then scientist some research related application they can develop with the help of Java. Desktop GUI application means whatever you are using on your computer desktop, different software that can develop with the help of Java. Mobile applications, it means mobile app we can develop with the help of Java. Embedded system means just like your hardware related software we can develop with the help of Java. So these are the different areas applications or software that can be developed with the help of Java. Now the next one is features of the Java. Some basic features is written here that you can understand the basic features. Java is very simple language. It's very simple to use, very simple to create any application or software. The second one is Java is object oriented. I've already told you that it's always follow this object oriented methodology to develop or write a program. And what is object oriented? At last video I've already explained. Java is platform independent. So what is platform independent? Just I will explain here, and that is a very important feature of Java. Java is platform independent. So it's a very important feature. Just I will explain after this point what is platform independent. Java is distributed. Distributed means what? We can use Java application on networks. The different we can use on networks with different systems. and Java is interpreted means here we will use a interpreter to convert to execute a Java program, and Java is robust. Robust means here we can easily manipulate the errors, here we can easily correct the errors, and so many other features related to robust. So these are the some important features of Java, and the platform independence is very important features. So come to the next point. So here on this points I will explain that how Java is platform independent. So to understand how Java is platform independent, these all the diagrams we have to understand. Here it's written source code compiled machine code. It means whenever in other language you will write any code, that code will be known as a source code, and when you want to execute this code, either you can say when you want to send this code to machine to execution, so first of all you have to use this compiler to compile this code. And what is the use of this compiler? So compiler are used to convert this source code to machine code. It means this source code is written to our language, and computer cannot understand my language means English and some characters and symbols. Computer can understand only 0 and 1. So whatever we will write on the source code with the help of our language English and symbols, so this source code by the compiler it will be converted to machine code. It means 0 and 1 form. So these are the converter. Compiler is a converter that convert this source code to machine code. So always use this compiler whenever we will execute this program, and then always use this compiler to convert this source code to machine code. And machine code, and when computer responds, either computer give the result, again this compiler are used to convert this machine code to source code. So compiler is a converter that's used to convert this source code to machine code and this machine code to source code. Now in other language means others high level language, these are the concept that used to execute the any program. We will always write a code in English, symbols, numbers, using this source code, and when we will execute, the compiler are used to convert this machine code. So this concept used in other language, but in Java is different. But here how we will execute this code, just look at here. First of all we will write a code, and that particular code is known as a source code. Same here also we will write a code with the help of symbols, because Java is also a high level language, so here also we will use English characters, symbols and numbers. So with the help of these all things we will write a source code, and when we will execute this code, so first of all Java compiler it will be convert this source code to byte code, not a machine code. Here Java compiler are used to convert this source code to byte code. And why we will converting here the source code to byte code? And this compiler and this compiler both are different, because this one is a Java compiler. So Java compiler always convert this source code to byte code, but in other language compiler are used to convert this source code to machine code. So here Java compiler are used to convert this source code to byte code, and this byte code is a unique code. Unique code means what? It can be executed on any machine with the help of this JVM. It means you can also say this byte code convert with the help of JVM to machine code. Getting? And this machine code can execute on any machine. Any machine means what? Here imagine that in other language, imagine that you are going to use any language, C, either C++, and you are going to write a program on Windows application, and you are going to execute that particular code. That code can execute only on that Windows machine, not any other machine. If you are going to use that particular Windows code on a Unix machine, then it cannot be executed. So that is a platform dependent code, that is known as a platform dependent. Platform dependent means what? Where we are creating a code, that particular system we can use to execute that code. If we are going to change any other system, that code cannot be executed. But in Java, that is the Java features of Java. Here Java, whenever we will write this source code, and by the Java compiler it will be convert this byte code, and this byte code is a unique code. It can be executed with the help of JVM on any types of machine, Mac, Windows, Linux, any types of machine it can be executed. Getting? So that is this concept is known as a platform independent. It means this Java code, you will develop this Java code on Windows, but it will be execute on any machine. But here in other language, where you will develop a code that only that particular machine you have to use the execute this code. If you are using a Windows, so it will be execute on only Windows. If you are using a code on Mac system or Linux system, it will be execute only on Mac or Linux. But here you are using this, you are creating a code on any machine and you are executing a code on any machine with the help of this concept. Which concept? This byte code and this JVM concept. So here whenever you will write a source code, the Java compiler, not a compiler, Java compiler convert this source code to byte code, and this byte code is a unique code, and this byte code with the help of JVM it will be convert on machine code, and this machine code it can be execute on any machine. So this is the concept that used to execute this source code to machine code in Java. Now now here some basic points about a byte code and JVM. So what is a byte code? So byte code is a compiled form of source code. It is a unique code that can be executed on any machine anywhere. It is a platform independent code. That code is known as this byte code is known as a platform independent code because it can be executed on any machine. And JVM, so JVM full form of JVM is Java Virtual Machine, is a process to virtual machine that can be execute a byte code. It means this JVM are used to execute this byte code. JVM converts the Java byte code into a machine language and execute it. It means with the help of this JVM we will execute Java byte code. So these are the some points related to byte code and machine code. So whenever in your examination it will be where will be a question that what is byte code, either what is JVMs, and you have to draw that particular diagram and you have to write these all the point related to byte code and JVM. Now come to the next point is Java interpreter. So as you know that the Java interpreter is also known as a Java JVM. So JVM is also known as a Java interpreter, you can say. So Java is this Java is a little different is written here. So I've already told you why the Java is little bit different in comparison to other language, because here Java compiler produce a byte code, not a machine code. And this byte code can be run on any computer with the help of Java interpreter, and the JVM is also known as a Java interpreter. I have already told you. So whenever you have to write about a Java interpreter, so these are all the points you have to write, and you have to draw this diagram also. So now the next point is a JDK. So what is JDK? So the full form of JDK is Java Development Kit. So this kit which provides the environment to develop and execute a Java program. It means the JDK is provide an environment to develop and execute a Java program. It means if you want to develop and execute a program, then you have to use this JDK. Without this JDK, you cannot develop and execute a program. So this JDK is a kit or package. Kit means package. Package means where we will contain so many different classes. There are so many different Java files. That is known as a package. So basically there are two different categories of this Java package: development tool and JRE. So this JDK, that is a package where we will contain a different file to develop and execute a Java program. And this JDK is categorized in two different parts: developing tools and JRE. So in developing tool, it's a provide an environment to develop your Java program. It means to develop a Java program, we will use this developing tool, and there are some different files just like a javac.exe, java.exe, and so many other files it will be contained. This javac.exe are used to compile any Java program. Java.exe are used to launch any Java program, and applet viewer and so many other files it will be contained to develop and execute a program. The next categories of JDK is JRE. So what is JRE? Just look at here. JRE is a Java runtime environment. So it means it's also a package, and either you can say JRE is a part of JDK to provide an environment to only run, not a develop, only run a program. To develop a program we will use a developing tools, and to run a program we will use this JRE. Now JRE, there are two different part of JRE. The first part is JVM, that is the part of JRE, this JVM part, and the rest one is library package. So JVM, I've already told you what is JVM. JVM is Java Virtual Machine. It's a very important part of this JRE, and JVM are used to execute a bytecode. I've already told you about a JVM. So this JVM, it's contained in JRE. JRE always contain this JVM, you can say. And the second part of JRE is library package. So there are so many types of different types of library package which we will use whenever we will develop a program. Either we will execute a program like just like a Java, Lang, Math, and so many others, AWT, util. These all are a Java package. Either you can say JRE package, and it's contained in JDK. So this all the predefined package always contained in JDK JRE part. And once again, just I am going to explain about JDK. So JDK is a package that's used to provide run and develop a program, and JDK is two different part, developing tools and JRE. These developing tools are used to execute a program, and it's contain a different executable file just like Java C, Java exe. And JRE is contain JVM and library package. JVM are used to convert bytecode to machine code, and this package are used to develop a program. So this is the different part of JDK. Now I am going to explain a very simple program of Java. So I am going to explain how to create a simple program, either a first program of Java. So each and everything you have to understand. Now this is a very simple program of Java. So in Java, whenever you will write a program, first of all you have to write a class, and after that you have to give the class name, and this class name may be anything. It means you can write any name, you can give the any name, but whenever you will give the class name, so you have to write a name related to your Java program. It means not that you will write here any funny name, that you have to write a related to any Java program. You have to give the name, and after that you have to write a opening braces, and then you have to write a void main. This void main is initial method, and this is a compulsory to write in your Java program. And after this void main, because this main is a function, so you have to give this bracket. So and after that once again you have to write again opening braces, and here in between this void main opening and closing braces you have to write all the statement of your program. It means all the program you have to write in between opening and closing braces. Here I am using only first statement, either one statement, and the statement is system.out.print and in bracket my Java program. So what is the usage of this statement? This statement are used to print this message on your computer screen. So with the help of this statement we will print this following message. So here we are printing a message. In this program only we are printing a message. So and according to your task, whatever you have to perform, that you have to write in between this opening and closing braces of this void main, and again you have to closing braces, and again a class closing braces you have to put here. So whatever you are opening brace opening, and then after also you have to put this closing. So in your Java, first of all you have to write a class and then void main, and in this void main braces, in between these braces you have to write the statement. All the statement you have to write here. Getting? So this is your first and simple program. So and on the next turn, either on the next video I will explain about different Java terms, just like what is token, what is data type, what is operator, because these all things you have to use in your program. Whenever you will you are going to use your program, either you are going to create your program, so without using tokens, data type, operators, you cannot create your program. So first of all, you have to understand about these all the points. What is token? How we will use? What is data type? How we will use? What is operator? How we will use? First of all, these all the points one by one I will explain on your next lesson, either on the next video, and then you have to use this all the points in your Java program to develop a program. Now your first lesson is completed here. So you, in your exercise, come to the exercise of your first lesson, and in your exercise there are so many different question is given. Some fill in the blanks, true and false is given. So first of all, you have to fill this fill in the blanks, true false, and the some short answer type question, some long answer type question, and two very simple program is given. You have to print about your name. So these all things just try to do in your copy, and I will explain these all the questions, fill in the blanks and program on your next video. So first of all, you have to try this to solve this all the questions and to give the answer of this all the question. And I will explain on your next video these all the exercises. Now if anyone have a problem, any problem or any doubts, they will write on my comment section. I will explain one more time, and on the next video I will explain your exercise, and then I will start your next chapter. So I hope these all the points is clear to you. So thank you everyone.